I'm here to talk to you today about fostering and some considerations to take before you move forward with the fostering process. So, my name is Nairi. I have 7 children, 5 birth children, 2 adopted sons, and we were foster carers for about 5 years. And I feel like, maybe I can offer you some tips and advice if you're thinking of going ahead with this, things to take into consideration, ready for your journey. But first, what I would say is congratulations that you're even thinking of doing fostering. I come across so many people that are thinking of doing fostering, but actually they never move forward with it. So I actually hope this video will help you to move forward with it, or even make a decision one way or the other. So the first thing that you need to consider when you go into fostering is actually you need the time to be able to do it. So it's okay to be working, you won't be rejected for that. It's okay to be busy, it's okay to already have children. It's all of those things are fine, but you need in your heart of hearts to know that you have enough time to welcome children into your home, because there are so many meetings that you will be involved with. They are intensified at the beginning of the placement and towards the end of placements, and there is also contact to consider, which is where you meet with the child's family, particularly when it's still going through court. So time is something that you need to be able to create, and maybe that might mean you have to make a few life changes and decisions to be able to create that time. Secondly, you need a big heart, because actually your heart is going to get broken. So the bigger the heart you have, the more capacity you have to love and get your heart broken. Fostering is all about getting your heart broken. They come in and these children break your heart when you see maybe the conditions they've been living in, when you hear the stories that they bring with them. So you need to be able to allow yourself to love them and to become attached to them, because that's so much part of fostering. But you've got to be prepared for your heart to be broken. And it's kind of, I don't know how to put it really. It's just part of the process of fostering, and you do need to give the children away, and that is also heartbreaking. I mean, obviously we've adopted, so there's a couple of children obviously that we haven't, but most of the time as foster carers, you're not going to be having those children what I called right the way through their childhood. They are going to be moving on, so that's something you've got to be prepared for. You've got to be pretty resilient for this, because you are going to hear some really heartbreaking stories. And actually, it does open up a world of possibilities that you might never have known were out there. And, often as well, you find that one child will come in for one type of category of abuse, but actually the reality is they've had several. And we actually found that, the majority of the children that we had quite sexualized behavior as well, which is something that if you've not come across before is, can be quite shocking. However, not enough to put you off if you really want to do this, just things to take into consideration and things to think about with resilience as well is, what is going to fit in with your family. So if you have quite young children in your family, that's not going to stop you fostering, but you might want to think about the type of placements that you want to take on. So, do you want a child in the house with sexualized behavior? Are you going to be able to watch them and make sure that they're not left alone with your children? Those type of practical things you need to take into consideration, because actually, if you do move forward with the fostering, there are so many children out there that need placement. In our experience, because we were working with a local authority, there was never a shortage of children that they wanted to give us. You can't really say you can't really say yes to all of the placements, because actually some of them will not fit with your family, and you kind of need to be able to make decisions around that. Passion and self-belief. Passion that this is something that you are called to do, whichever way you look at this. Even if you don't have a faith or kind of spiritual slant on this, it still has to almost be something that you feel called to do, because you're not going to do it for the money. Yes, you are going to get money for it, but it's not enough money. The money is not enough to give up everything you're going to give up for these children. Your life is going to be turned upside down, in my opinion, in a good way. I feel it is one of the best decisions that my husband and I ever made. It changed us forever in a good way. So, you've got to have that passion and self-belief that this is something you really want to do. And then when everything is chucked at you from every angle, for, parents, social work, whatever, it won't matter because you believed that it was the right decision to go through with this. So again, examine your heart and think, have I got the passion and self-belief for this? Strong relationships in your network. So strong relationship could be your husband or your partner, it could be your mother, your brother, your sister, your uncle, it doesn't really matter, but you need to know that you have those strong relationships around you. You do not need a big network, but you do need a reliable network because you are going to need to call on people. There will be times when, one of the children is poorly, when you can't always do everything yourself. So you do need to think, who are those people that I know 100% I can trust with confidentiality, who can be there at the drop of a hat, who are they? And you need to have a few of those people around for sure. We were really lucky because the majority of our children were adults and they were, absolutely for us fostering. So they were an amazing help to us. And I say it now, guys, you were an amazing help to us. So we were really lucky because obviously we had 5 and, that was great. So strong relationship, just to say to you here, most agencies, local authorities don't really mind what background you come from, single, what type of couple you form, all of that, is irrelevant. It's more that they're looking at, if you are with someone, is that relationship stable? Is it strong? Is it going to stand the test of bringing in these children into your home? And actually, you need to ask yourself that too, because there will be questions around your relationship. There will be questions around your family and past history of relationships and past history of childhood. Now that bit almost put me off, if I'm honest, because my childhood was not great at all and I did struggle with that, but I really wanted to foster, and I believed that my experiences, which were incredibly negative as a child, I've been able to turn around and then have the understanding for these children that I needed. Now, not everybody is going to be able to turn that situation around. So again, think about, are there going to be any stumbling blocks, hiccups for you that cause your resilience and your emotional well-being to collapse when you're faced with situations from these children? Here's the reality check. Most people think that when children come into them, they are going to be able to change them forever and they are going to put everything right for those children because they've offered them a lovely home and, good food and good things to play with and love and care and relationships. And you will make a massive difference. I mean, the difference sometimes, I think about neglect, when children with neglect come in and you start to offer them decent meals, love and care, you do see a massive difference. There are loads of positives. But also the reality check is you can't change everything for the children. You can't take away their history. They are coming with that. You can't rub that slate clean. You can be a positive influence in their life and you can help them to understand what love is, understand how a parent should be, but you can't undo all of the damage. And that is something that's really hard to maybe accept as adults, that actually some of the way that adults have treated these children will last a lifetime for these children. However, the positive side of it is you are putting some good influences into their life, but you can't change everything. And it's better to accept that from the start, because then you don't sort of beat yourself up over it. And obviously we've adopted from fostering, so we know that a lot of the things that were there in the beginning, many of them are still there, but we've learned to accept that, and it is hard. So that's the reality check. So that's it for the first video. If you like the video and you think you want to hear more, then please subscribe, and I'll be taking you through some of our experiences with fostering and also be making some videos about adoption as well. And I hope that you will enjoy listening to me, and I hope that I'm helping you to make a decision about whether you want to start fostering. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.